Bill, we always get questions on the Kalam cosmological argument, an infinite number of questions on the Kalam cosmological argument. And it just goes to show how fascinating this is. And I want to read this one letter that we got. It says, "Dear Dr. Craig, while an atheist, I do admire the intellectual rigor which you apply to your beliefs. It is refreshing to see someone defend their faith with such intelligence. My question is concerning whether the Kalam commits the fallacy of composition. That is, assuming something whole has the same properties as its parts. For example, the alphabet is made up of letters, but is not itself a letter." So, Bill, why don't you discuss the fallacy of composition first?
The fallacy of composition, as he says, is reasoning that because all of the parts of something have a certain property, therefore the whole has that property. For example, if every little piece of an elephant is light in weight, then the whole elephant is light in weight. That would be committing the fallacy of composition. It's not true that because every part has a property, that the whole thing composed of those parts has the property. And I think, Kevin, the allegation here is supposed to be against the premise that says everything that begins to exist has a cause. And the reader apparently is under the impression that one justifies seeking a cause of the universe by arguing compositionally, that because everything in the universe has a cause, therefore the universe as a whole has a cause. And that's just manifestly incorrect. That is the fallacy of composition. But if you read my work, I think you'll find nowhere in anything that I've ever written or published or said have I defended the causal principle or there being a cause of the universe by composition. That would be obviously fallacious. Rather, what I argue is that the principle, everything that begins to exist, everything that comes into being at some point, must have a cause which brings it into existence. And this is rooted in the metaphysical truth that something can't come out of nothing. And moreover, I think that this principle is constantly confirmed in our experience. So I wouldn't think to try to justify the Kalam cosmological argument's conclusion by arguing from composition. That would just be wrong, but he's setting up a straw man here, which no one has defended.
What if I were to say that all the tiles on the floor are brown, therefore the floor is brown?
Yes, what that illustrates is that sometimes the whole does possess the property of its parts, and if every piece of the floor is brown, then the whole floor is brown. That seems obviously true. So sometimes the whole will have the property of its parts, other times it won't, and therefore you can't just automatically assume that because every piece or part of a whole has a property, therefore the whole has it. It may indeed have it, but you can't reason that just because the part has it, therefore the whole has it. You would have to give some sort of justification for thinking that the whole would have the property that its parts do.